Hey everyone, welcome to Food from Mzansi's discussion on our Minecraft challenge. If you're a regular Food from Mzansi fan, you'd know we do all sorts of weird things. And one of the craziest ideas we've ever had was to see how we can use Minecraft to introduce people to the world of agriculture. And Minecraft, arguably one of the world's biggest games, if not the biggest games. It's, of course, a project led internally by Ronald Lawrence, who's an executive at the company, and Gareth Davies, who's the mastermind behind it. He's also online, the game's master. So, Gareth, we might chip in every now and then to get some thoughts from you. Now, the winners have been announced, but today we've got two experts on the call just to get acquainted with the game, to see what we did. So, it's a bit of a walkthrough, and I'm keen to hear your thoughts. Malvi Todd and Henning Human. Malvi, you're not a gamer, but you're a big fan of gaming and specifically Minecraft, right?
Absolutely, Ivor. I must first of all really commend you guys on this excellent initiative. I see how our kids play Minecraft, and it really expands their creative skills, and helps them understand, gives them an idea of how things work in the world. So I think this was a fantastic initiative by you guys. So yes, true, whilst I'm not a gamer myself, I do have a background in food science. And as I said, I probably learn a little bit through osmosis in terms of how the game works, and have witnessed the creation of several worlds and industries through my kids.
The only kids I know that Minecraft are 40-year-olds. Henning, you're one of them. You're not a big gamer. Well, you used to be.
Well, yeah, in primary school, I used to be a gamer, and I know my brother always played Minecraft, but after primary school, I got busy, and now for this, how can I say, interview or meeting of ours, I had a look at YouTube and saw all the different things on YouTube or when it comes to Minecraft, and it was very interesting. And if I had more time, I'd definitely play it. But unfortunately, I think it's just a time thing for me. But it's a very, very great game. And like I said before our meeting, if you can dream it, you can build it in this game. And that's what I like, because I'm an inventor and a designer. So, I mean, this is actually my cup of tea, to be honest. I just need some time.
It's actually mind-blowing to think that everything we're looking at on screen was built by Food from Mzansi readers. And I know the first exercise was where they built their bases. Then they went into the silos, which unfortunately was destroyed in a cyber attack. We had the vertical farming challenge, later the desert farming challenge. Gareth, what are we looking at right now? Where are we now?
Okay, well, right now we're hovering over one of our players. He created a kind of co-op, which he called, I think it was called Frontier Foods. And this was built by Xavier, where he has a selection of different crops in like smaller scale, where he helped the community. So he's got some potatoes over here, some livestock over here with an abattoir attached, and then some chickens, and just like a little bit of logs over here for cutting wood, for building supplies. And he really branched out into all the different options that were available in Minecraft. So he's got some sugarcane, wheat, potatoes, all the options growing around. And he also added little narratives to his world. So he built smaller structures for where he, how can I say, it was kind of a farm worker area, but in a lower income area, for example, and as well as a community center, which he built up here on the cliff. He was quite the builder, which had shared resources for all the players on the server to use, as well as different tools that they would need in their general journeys. So it was very exciting stuff.
Incredible. Malvi, your thoughts?
No, I think I was just listening to the part about the shared community services, and I think, that's really in the spirit of the game. So I would give extra points for that initiative there. And I love the diversity of the farming activities. So I must say, nicely done here. As you said, an avid builder.
Helen?
Yeah, I would say it looks like a more conventional farm to me. A small, I would say, countryside, a little farm, something I would have one day when I grow up. So I feel it's a very nice idea. It's simple, but nice ideas that's going around. And yeah, all the techniques like the community center at the top, I can see there's some creativity and thought lines. So I really appreciate this build, and I can relate to something like this.
I absolutely love how the spirit of community was integrated into the world of agriculture. As we know, working in the agricultural field, agriculture doesn't work as a standalone. It's all about community integration, stressing the importance thereof. Gareth, we're moving on a little bit. Where are we now?
Okay, we are now heading off to our second challenge, which was all about vertical farming. Just as a brief overview, we gave the players a small, I think it was about 10 by 10 patch of land, like here, for example, where they had to use their creativity and their understanding of vertical farming to bring it into Minecraft. So they all took on the challenge in a very unique way to their build style, where we see some more ambitious foresty type builds over here to the left, more greenhouse centric build over here in the middle, then fantasy floating tower, which was in the end one of our winners just for pure creativity and use of the structure. A gigantic apiary, which really hit home like one of those classic Minecraft building styles, where creating gigantic animals out of blocks is like one of the, it's a staple of Minecraft. And then a futuristic tower over here in the middle with the big Eye of Sauron up at the top, as you would say. But it was very interesting seeing how they went about this, because like you can see through here, let me actually get it. Yes, sorry. No, carry on.
I think it was Henning trying to say
Henning.
something. He froze. Yeah. But I saw that Malby is really enjoying it.
Yeah, I must say, I'm going to be honest here. I was a little bit swayed by aesthetics. I really loved, the foresty vibe on the tower on the left-hand side. But I definitely agree in terms of the winner with the diversity of the crops they planted. And yes, the design, the floating tower, I mean, that for me was really like brought together a number of the different elements. And I must say, I do give credit to the giant apiary. As we know in agriculture and globally, we have this concern about diminishing bee populations. They're so important. They play a vital role in the ecosystem as pollinators. So for me, that was also a nice one, just in terms of an awareness of the challenges that we face in agriculture, amongst other things, excessive use of pesticides, etc. So I really that for me was a nice plus point. And then I think the futuristic tower on the right hand side, when you had it on the screen just now, very cool. I think that player has extensive taste, but again, I must say, I've really been impressed by the building skills of these players. I mean, as I said, I'm really basic, just based on the skills that the kids have imparted on me. I have new aspirations now to spend some more time in Minecraft.
What I absolutely love is how it enhances local food productivity, which obviously influences food security. And vertical farms such as the one we're witnessing there, even though it's a bit grandiose, it's often established in urban centers, and it kind of brings food production closer to the people who actually eat the food, the consumers. And there are many benefits to that localized approach, one of which is that it reduces the carbon footprint. Often we are not even aware that transporting produce over long distances isn't great for the environment. So that's just one of the reasons where a consistent supply of fresh, locally grown food, like the one we're seeing here on screen, just works magic. Henning, you back? Your thoughts? Did you catch any of it?
Yes. Well, these concepts that I saw, or the builds that the guys did here, was actually very different from what I'm used to. So it was good to see their thought of the directions they were thinking in. Because I was thinking in a smaller, like our systems, I was thinking in something smaller and you grow on the outside. Here they grew on the inside of these structures. So what I like is the one that's basically a few greenhouses on top of each other. That's the one I like the most, because that's more practical. If I had to do it in this sense, I would have gone that route. So I really like that design.
Gareth, I'm not going to ask you because you dealt with all the flavors, but maybe what was your favorite?
Oh, I am a sucker for fantasy, so it would definitely it would have to be this one. It would have to be our winner. Yeah. And just to put it out there was no bias. I wasn't part of the voting process.
What do you like about it specifically?
There is a very unique thing in fantasy of the structures floating in the middle of nowhere, floating in the sky, and that medieval appeal is amazing, for one, and it was captured very well in this building, as well as the use of materials. Because all of this, like you can see here, it's all made out of local, like compacted dirt, mud bricks that the player would fire in, and then like fire in a furnace, as well as like moss blocks, just for like an aesthetic appeal. But it feels very natural. It feels like it was pulled straight out of the ground and then given a purpose, which I absolutely adore.
I'd actually like to add one more thing as well. As I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about, the world of work, and as things have changed post-COVID and how we're seeing companies, moving out of giant office blocks, I could almost see in future some of our skyscrapers being repurposed as like giant vertical farms. I think Henan mentioned it earlier, right? Hey, if we can imagine it, we can do it. So I really like the futuristic aspect of pretty much all of these. So again, well done to the players.
I wonder what will happen if we show some of the younger farmers this Minecraft experience. Maybe it will even spark ideas that can take them a bit more futuristic. So next up, we actually going to desert farming. So now we're in the desert, and South Africa is obviously a water scarce country. So many people might think, why are we farming in the desert? There's actually a lot we can learn from it. Henan, let's kick off with you, your experience.
Well, I like this challenge because when we design things, I look at soils that are poor. So this is a great starting point, is to farm in a desert. It's the same as they do in Dubai or the other countries. They don't have fertile land there, so you have to think out of the box. And these designs, I like this too. The one with the tower that looks like stairs, and then the other conventional greenhouse one again. I would say there's just one or two things to keep in mind when you farm, but this is a game. So the things to keep in mind is the real world aspects, because when you're in a desert, there's a lot of heat. So I would say in this game, it's not going to be it's not going to affect your situation a lot, but that's something to keep in mind when you're working in an environment like this.
Malvi, did you like it, or should I say, did your kids love it?
Yeah, no, they absolutely did, and I actually want to latch on to what Henning said, because we actually had extensive discussions about this last night of, the Minecraft world, and then syncing that with the realities of what would happen in the real world. So I think Henning is spot on there in terms of if you were in this, well, as you say, we are in a water scarce country already, but certainly if you're farming in the desert, you would want to preserve every drop. And so then I think the greenhouse type designs do end up being more pragmatic. But, as you guys mentioned, it is Minecraft, and the idea is to encourage creativity. So then I certainly think the idea of, that tower with the multiple levels and the single source block gravity feed, that's a fantastic idea. I think on that one particularly, I perhaps, might have wanted to see a little bit more diversity in sort of, and sources of, or agricultural sources that could be processed into food. But that's again me maybe being a little bit my food science background coming in, and we also don't want to only eat one thing, and I'm not sure how tasty cactuses are unless you want to make tequila, but PG rated if this is an underage audience. So it would work for me, but Yeah, so again, I think yes, it's that interesting thing of matching the Minecraft world and the real world. But I think considering this is Minecraft, it really is about the clever designs, the thought process that went into this. And again, I'm really impressed by what the players have done here. And yeah, if we think about the future of agriculture, we have people with these intelligent ideas coming into it that of course can be matched with real world challenges. I think the future is very bright.
I was really inspired by how the Minecraft builders thought about the adaptation to extreme weather conditions here.
Yes.
That's something we can take home. The importance of climate smart farming, to equip farmers with strategies, drought resistant crop varieties, efficient irrigation methods. By thinking of agriculture for days when the rain is scarce, seasons when the rain is scarce, floods, heat waves. How do we take all that into account to ensure food production can continue even under the most difficult of climatic conditions? Okay, great. Next up, we're moving to agro-processing, Gareth?
Yes, we're heading back. Okay.
So we're now in the world of agro-processing, which is obviously where it all comes together, from the farm moving into spaces where it actually ends up on our plates. Henning, I'm going to start with you. What did you think of this part?
I found this build or these builds very interesting because the first thing that I noted was you actually limited by the understanding of how to use your blocks. I watched a video on how to use water and how you can use it, and I mean here the players definitely thought about how they can use and apply the different blocks to transport certain products, to have it manufactured at a different point. So this was very interesting for me, and to be honest, I think some of these players actually, when it comes to designing and the thought process, was a lot better than mine would have been. So definitely hats off to the builders here.
Fantastic. And of course, I pressed all the wrong buttons. Melvin?
No. I think, again, I'd like to latch on to what Henning said, because I was having extensive discussion with the kids last night about, the different use of the blocks. And for example, understanding, the furnace that would burn for longer, take 64 potatoes, etc., versus the campfire that, seems to keep going indefinitely, but requires more labor. So, to constantly replace the potatoes. So I agree there, and there was differences here in terms of focuses on efficiency. Again, I think maybe because of my background as a food scientist, I really enjoyed the examples with the automation, and I understand again the limitations of Minecraft. So automation with the sugarcane and the bamboo is possible, but I think I'm speaking under correction, but perhaps not with the potatoes and the carrots. So again, I think there's a balance here between efficiency, but ultimately when you're talking about food products, food security, you'd like to see a diversity of products. You mentioned earlier, different crops that have different levels of drought resistance, but also when you look at the final products, we want to have nutritional diversity so that people are getting all their required proteins, vitamins, minerals. And again, that's maybe, what's possible within Minecraft versus reality. But again, as you guys have mentioned, I think these players they've really employed everything that's available to them in Minecraft with interesting techniques, certainly much more so than I would think. And they've thought about the practicalities of food processing. So yes, we do need to have processes that are automated. In that way, we can actually bring the cost of food down, but we also need to consider the nutritional value, what energy does it provide us? And then again, we can't ignore the fact that we have this world where we have non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, etc., on the rise. So again, matching the practicalities, cakes, yes, more process is required. So from a technical perspective, fantastic, but we also need to consider the nutritional side. So, but again, I commend the players in their understanding of the game, the use of their blocks. It's certainly better than I could have done. But I aspire once again to upskill myself here a bit more.
It's absolutely fascinating to hear from the food science perspective. Henning, what does it spark in your world, your professional world?
Well, while we were talking, I was thinking of the scale of things. It's a little bit different topic, but that's definitely something to keep in mind when it comes to manufacturing or processing, even farming side of things. I was lucky to grow up on a farm, and scalability and scale of certain things are definitely a big thing to keep in mind when it comes to manufacturing products or things cheaper or more affordable. So I think that's just something a player should keep in mind as well when they design something, because you can design something that works quite well, but if your output is not big enough, you won't be able to, this is real world, but you won't be able to sell a certain or manufacture a product that's affordable to the community.
Gareth, as the mastermind behind it all, your final thoughts?
As one of the few very well, not few, there's actually, YouTube is full of them, the technical builders in Minecraft, this challenge really hit home with me, especially the Dark Factory, just seeing the level of automation that was put into it, and it's a system that all works on its own. Like adding to Melvy's point earlier, like the player automated stuff like the bamboo and so on, but also using the villagers that live around in the game. He was able to make these little farms that are effectively staffed by non-player characters, and they would harvest the produce and then give it to another little farmer here at the end, which would then send it down through the system and automatically prepare like the potatoes and so on, the carrots and so on. So it was great seeing this big system that all works together, coming together it even like packages everything and puts it all in storage automatically. It all comes up and gets stored where it's needed. It's inspiring to see like players take something that's a big part of the more complex Minecraft players day to day, where they systemize everything and make these complex systems, and applying it to something that they know, for example, very little about. Like agro-processing is something that was completely new to all these players. They all went and researched and read the resources that we gave them, just like for examples, and they applied it rather well, like to the ability that they could, while still staying within Minecraft, like vanilla unmodded Minecraft, which it's truly impressive. And like this structure is like, it will be one of my favorites till the end of time, basically.
Till the end of time, or hopefully until the next round, when Food from Mzansi fan impress us with even more experiences. It's absolutely impressive, as you said, Gareth, and truly inspiring. It was a great journey, this Minecraft farming journey for the Food from Mzansi team. I know it's been carrying over months, and it's a bit of a lonely hustle for the nerds in the team, because not everybody understands gaming and the importance thereof. But I must say, my mind has been blown by what I've seen and experienced here. Closing remarks, Henning, Melvy, do you want to add something?
Yes, I wanted to add to Gareth's comments on the Dark Factory. I feel like some of these players, even though they're young, I feel they've got engineering degrees. I mean, because they were very innovative. I mean, the thoughts and the things that they did there is mind blowing. So I think I'll have to make time to start playing Minecraft, because there's people that really thinking of good things.
Yeah, Melvy.
No, absolutely. I have to agree with Henning, and I said it earlier. I think the future of agri in South Africa is very bright. If this is what we have, coming through the system, the ideas, and if you can dream it, you can do it. So I certainly look forward to seeing, the next iteration of this competition, and what the kids come up with. And yeah, like I've said a few times as well, and what Hen mentioned as well, I've got Minecraft on my computer now, and I've got some experts to teach me. So I'm looking forward to you know, making some contributions in the world of Minecraft myself in future.
Awesome. All the best, everybody. Check us out on foodformzansi.co.za, and Henning and Malvi, I'll stalk you on LinkedIn. Cheers,
Great.
everybody. That's it.
Great.
Thanks, everybody.